It is our final day in Katmai National Park, and we just have a few hours left before we have to jump on a plane to start heading home. Unfortunately, it was also a really wet and nasty day, so we just had a few little breaks in the weather to go out and see the bears one last time. All right, we had a kind of a wet morning this morning, right as we started packing everything up, so of course it comes in just enough to get all your gear nice and wet as you're trying to pack. And now kind of looks like we might have a little break in the weather, so we're gonna walk back over to that beaver pond, see if anything's there. I guess earlier today there was some beavers and otters in that pond, so we'll see if they're still around or if they went to bed.
I want to go back to bed.
Yeah,
Just
we're
kidding.
tired.
We are tired, and we didn't know when we made our evening flight. We were like, oh, extra day. We'll leave at 6 p.m. Well, if you fly Katmai Air, you have to have your luggage on the front steps by 9 a.m. So just plan ahead for that. We literally didn't know that until we landed, and we learned about that.
There's people flying out today, they didn't know that they're supposed to have their stuff there by 9 a.m. So they don't really make it well known, but they don't waste flights. So when they bring people here, they load it up with gear to send back. So
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know what those people are going to do. They might not have their luggage flown until tomorrow. It totally depends. Like, that's their problem, though, now. So just make sure you learn all about, the couple of rules that are here, because they're here to keep things running.
these people are really close to that bear.
Wow. I mean,
Kind of.
yeah.
Could just be perspective. Yeah, but we're here till 6 today, so we have a mostly full day to play around. We'll probably get back in the river one last time, and the falls again, looking at the cams. No one's at the lip of the falls, which that's really what I want to see. So we might go back up there, we might not. We'll see.
Might just have to experience that in a different year.
Yep, come back on a less booming salmon year. So, yeah.
What are we following this morning, Brian?
That's a mama bear with cubs.
Very cute.
Very cute. Our first bear interaction of the day was a mama bear with a couple little cubs. Yeah, you kill that stick. Have to take advantage of these little breaks in the weather because there's not many of them, and they're for short durations, that's for sure. I can see more rain up in the mountains over there, and it all depends how the weather systems move through here, but I have a feeling I have like 15-20 minutes before it gets over here. So in that time I'm checking out the beaver pond, and I'm listening for the juvenile owls. I'm assuming probably won't see them, but it's worth checking out. The beaver pond is very calm and quiet at the moment. I don't see any movement here. Right up there. I can't tell what that is. I don't know if it's a huge raven or if it's a different bird of prey. Let's see if I can get some photos. Turns out that was just a raven. So, looked like a huge bird and I got excited. Other than that though, there's not much noise or movement or anything out here. So, I know Sarah has lunch ready to rock and roll back at one of the picnic areas, so better turn around and get back there before she eats all the food and I get nothing. Here comes more rain. We better get moving. See if we can outrun this. So yeah, that was about 12 minutes of no rain. Not very long at all. And that's something to keep in mind when you do come here, is you will get all the weather out here. So bring lots of waterproof stuff so that you can stay dry. If you're bringing big cameras, bring rain covers for the cameras. And just get ready for anything.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice. So we've been laughing and talking and reminiscing on, this whole trip. And I was saying earlier how this totally feels like adult summer camp. Well, great example of summer camp behavior. Here's the story that Brian has to tell.
So someone found a heart-shaped rock and put it in the middle of a giant pile of bear scat. And we saw that yesterday and we're like, okay, that's kind of funny, but also, wow, that's weird.
Like, the piles are like this thick. And then there's just a rock sitting on top.
Well, today I was walking by, and apparently it has become a staple for tourists to take photos of this pile with a heart-shaped rock in it. And because there was 12 people there taking photos, different groups, and every single person walking past was like, I can't believe I'm here taking photos of bear scat.
Whatever floats your boat, man. There is definitely a lot of scat, though, that you can take pictures of if that is what you want to do.
All shapes and sizes, so I guess you'll never get bored.
Maybe make a photo collage out of it.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Scrapbook.
I don't think I've taken photos of any of it, to be honest. We finally got a good weather window, so we made our way towards Brooks Falls. Stop. I am. So that's how I go up.
Actually gonna try to fish or not.
There is an unbelievable amount of salmon in the river at this point, and it's hard to believe that the bears ever miss.
I would rather you not.
It's also amazing being so close to the bears, you can see all of their battle scars. Now, even in an area like this where there's plenty of food, the bears still battle from time to time just to assert their dominance. Just shooting video.
So a huge part of trail maintenance with this area is you have to get permission because of all of the tribal and historical features of this land, which is really important. And that road that we just showed you, that is 10 years of restoration. It literally looks like it was just plowed yesterday. It's insane that 10 years still has not repaired the damage that was done there because it was punched through without permission in an unsustainable way. So it's just a good reminder of there's rules set in place for a reason so that we can enjoy things for the future. It's not meant to hinder anyone.
We took a quick detour up to Lake Brooks, and I do mean quick, because our time here was running out. And then on the way back, we heard there was quite a few bears at the falls, so we ran back there as fast as we could.
All right, we exceeded our number right before we left. We saw 5 bears in the Brooks Falls area. It's a little better, but still nothing crazy. I mean, I've seen pictures of like at least 10 plus, which is just insane. Maybe future year, I'm sure they'll be like that actually in the next couple weeks as the salmon start to kind of slow down at the lower part of the river, and then the bears are forced to fish the falls a lot more. But it's also going to be more competitive, so it's kind of nice to see that the bears really aren't stressed right now. As we round out, you know, this part of the trip, obviously we still have to make our way back home, but we're just reflecting on how incredible the entire staff has been here. Everyone is so awesome, and I know I've said this before throughout the video, but ask your park rangers questions. Like, even if you think they're stupid, you're always going to learn so much from them. They're always super nice, and that's their job. Like, this is meant to be educational. Don't be afraid to ask questions, because I promise you, you're going to learn a ton.
Actually, kind of surprised as someone that doesn't like seafood that you haven't really said much about the fishy smell here.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I haven't loved it, but I think people might hype up the smell a little bit more than it should be. It's been fine. It's totally manageable, and honestly, this is such a unique experience. If you're gonna let the smell of fish bother you, maybe you're not ready for this experience then.
It's definitely lots of fishy places.
It's very fishy this year, and things are gonna start rotting in the next couple weeks, so it's gonna get real fishy around here.
Yeah, and some of the smells are unbearable.
Yeah.
One at a time on the boards. Jeff and I are
Sarah's gonna drive the plane.
You are so lucky.
Yeah, I don't think anyone wants me flying this plane. Not with a little more training. Like, a lot more.
We arrived back in King Salmon and we headed over to Sockeye Saloon to get a nice meal. It is literally like one of 2 restaurants in the entire town of King Salmon, but it was actually very delicious. Afterwards, we got a full tour of the entire salmon industry in Bristol Bay, which was really cool.
It's maintained. Well, there's only like 350 people that live between King Salmon and Naknek all year round.
Oh,
So
wow.
it goes down to nothing. And then the beginning of the fishing season, 16 to 18,000 captains with their crew come in, and then 200,000 processing people.
That's a huge influx.
By busloads from the airport. The people that could afford car to go to Brooks. They would load up the car with their kids and, you know, make popcorn, and they would drive to the dump.
Oh my
and
gosh,
watch
just to see the bears. That's so funny.
You could see them coming up on the hill, and they've switched around where the garbage is, and then they have some sort of electric fence now. But it got a little out of hand because people started feeding them and wanting them to come closer.
There were that many bears at the landfill? That's wild.
But it's just rows and rows of boats, and old and new and different kinds, you know, wooden and fiberglass. And so these are all freezer containers. The ones that are closest down in the yard are full of fish waiting to go out. See this barge is loading up. See that big boat in the top? That's on a barge that's at the end of the city dock.
These all have fish right now.
Wow. But these do.
These
ones down here.
Okay.
All of these do. But it was full all up here. So they're using them from up there, and once they get to this lot, they get the refrigeration system put on. If you don't have a reefer system on your boat, which is the refrigeration on your boat, you have to come here, and this machine makes ice, and you just fill your gunnels with ice. But see how he's picking up that container?
Yeah.
And they really don't like me to be driving down in here. Oh, she wants me to come through? Are you kidding me? Okay, I will. Thank you. But we're taking those containers and getting ready to be put out on a barge. They'll go to the boat 48. But it is to overload your boat and sink and lose all your fish.
So out here is where the Bering meets the Pacific Ocean, which is pretty cool to see. I can't even see, oh, I can see the land point. So it looks like it's right there. So got right there, and right there to there. Okay, so that distance is where the Bering meets the Pacific. And then they jokingly call this Stoner Hill because of the view. And it's easy to just come up here and park your car just like we did. And then there's also these spring-fed pieces of water. So even though we're right on saltwater right here, there's spring-fed freshwater ponds that have popped up, which is kind of cool to have that this close to the saltwater.
Where you can kind of see a little white line in the water, way out there. Yeah. That's at least how far you can walk.
Oh,
It's just a tail dragger, like most of these are, and just, you know, he has the beach wheels on it that he can land on the beach.
So that does it for us in Katmai National Park. 5 full days in the park completed. And I cannot wait to go back. Someday, hopefully soon, because this place is absolutely magical. Now, if you missed the other parts of our trip or missed our gear loadout for the entire trip, head on over to the Summit for Wellness YouTube channel, and we have all of that right there. Thanks for following along on this adventure, and I hope you enjoy all of these bear photos.